There are three principles that guide me in absolutely everything that I do, in work, outside of work, sport, and so on. And I want to share them with you because, hey, maybe you already have something figured out, in which case, great for you. And actually leave comments and share what you do, because I like to learn more. I'm sure that whoever reads and sees this post wants to learn more too. But for those who sometimes feel perhaps stuck, unable to progress, unable to build and keep momentum, these three principles are what represented the biggest solution, exciting solution for me in life. So here we go. The first one is the absolute knowledge, the conviction inside that willpower and resilience are not inborn. Willpower isn't a talent, it's a skill that we develop. And like any skill, it needs to be trained, and it can evolve, and it can improve, and it will improve if we practice. The second two principles are really interconnected to practicing the skill of willpower, which then makes a difference between those that win and those that don't. It isn't talent, we know that already. Studies have been conducted that show that it isn't talent that make winners winners, but it is the ability to carry on and to work hard. So the first one is willpower, develop that skill, and I'm happy to share with you how I do that. The second one is the sheer ability to put yourself in places of hardship. That's right, in controlled situations where you create hardship for yourself so that you grow, so that you learn to cope with that hardship. And what was once hard becomes a new normal. So for example, I work out every morning as soon as I get up very early in the morning, and every morning or whenever I feel that I can, I put myself in a place of hardship. I make the temperature in the room hotter. I work extra hard. I expect more from me. But also it goes beyond that. Sometimes I live very minimally. So very simple clothes, very simple food, almost as if I had a lot less finances. And other times I put myself in situations where I need to concentrate, and it's very hard to try and improve my tolerance of noises and so on. So control your environment by creating every now and again, not often of course, but periodically, once a month, once a week, whatever that works for you, whatever works for you, creating places and situations of hardship, because it makes you more resilient, it makes you more able to cope, but it also creates some perspective. That's a byproduct of the exercise. It creates perspective that when you are out of that situation, you realize how blessed, how lucky, and how good you've been to create yourself that comfortable situation. The message here is we as human beings, typically look for the path of least resistance, the easiest way out. Don't do that. That's counterproductive. That really makes us less able to cope in hard situations, which you are guaranteed to face in life, right? So put yourself in places of hardship periodically, create that hardship, make it controlled, and it's almost like training if you're an athlete, right? And the third one, which is often underestimated and overlooked, is rest. If you ask any professional athlete, and I've had the pleasure to be working with a few of them, you see that they'll tell you most of the growth happens during a period of rest after a period of hard work. Most of the growth of the muscle, most of the growth of the skill, most of the creativity growth or the productivity growth happens during the moment of rest after hard work. So make sure that you schedule in that rest, because if we don't, then we go into burnout. Even if we don't realize it, burnout is perceived to be this thing where people get stressed and depressed and down. Burnout happens way before that. If we feel stressed and if we feel depressed because of work, because of the sheer amount of work, then we screwed up such a long time before. Burnout happens a lot sooner, and we need to prevent it. You prevent it through rest. However, rest needs to be planned. So schedule the rest in days, weeks in advance, because that way you don't use rest as an excuse, subconsciously perhaps, to quit. As an excuse to say, well, I need rest tomorrow. I don't want to get up early tomorrow. I don't want to do this tomorrow. Schedule it in so that it's planned and the decision is made rationally rather than emotionally. So these are the three principles, which I'm more than happy to share way more information about it. But it's basically the ability to realize and to know the deeper level that willpower and persistence and resilience are skills that you grow. So don't fall victim of thinking, oh, I don't have them. The second is really putting yourself in places of hardship at times. And the third one is give yourself some rest. I hope this helps. Leave comments, share what you have. See you later, guys. Mwah.